So today I wanted to do a video about Japanese concerts and how to get tickets and all that sort of stuff. Now, in the US, usually you go through probably Ticketmaster or something like that because that's practically where all the tickets are sold. But here in Japan, one of the most convenient ways to get concert tickets is to go to the convenience store Lawson's. Now, in Lawson's there is a kind of like a counter type thing. And it's a touchscreen, and you can either search by venue, by artist, by location, or by the specific code that is for the concert. Now, you'll find the codes usually on the band websites that you want to see. But when you go to the ticket counter, just need to type it in. It'll print out the little receipt. It'll charge you like 200 yen-ish just for processing, and then you need to go up to the main counter and buy your tickets there. Now, recently, over the past month, I've gone to a couple different concerts. One of them was a Visual Kei band called Sadi, and then another one was a few different metalcore bands, Ardema and Make My Day and Eskimo Callboy, and then also Gurugamesh was thrown in there too, but they're more rock and not metalcore at all, so it's a bit confusing why they were thrown in there. But when I went to the concerts, there were some things that were quite a bit different than American concerts. Mainly the Visual Kei ones were always different because, you know, in the US, if you go to like some sort of rock type concert, there's mosh pits, there's people shoving and pushing around, you're kind of like smushed in like anchovies. Well, in Japanese concerts, for the most part, you have your own personal space. I mean, it's not like a full, like, arms out to the side type thing, but you can breathe, and it's just, that part of it's nice. But if you go to a Visual Kei band's concert, there are some things you need to know about the fans. One, they are very group-oriented. They have the same hand movements, same very slow head banging that doesn't go with the music, and they also, at least for Sadi, they like to wear scrunchies up their arm, and it shows how big of a fan they are. Now, if you go to a band, like a concert that's just a Visual Kei band playing, you'll be fine for the most part in the group because everyone there will be doing the same exact thing. I was standing in the back near like the little table areas in the back of the venue at the Sadi concert, and I swear to God, at the same exact time, everyone would start doing this slow head banging, and then they stop and they start like whipping their hair back and forth. So there's a giant sea of shades of black and brown hair just flying back and forth in synchronized movements, and it's really just the weirdest thing, but it's absolutely hilarious to watch. But one thing you should learn from me is that for the other concert that I went to, which was metalcore and then like one Visual Kei group, you really don't want to go to those concerts. I mean, the music was good and everything. I lost hearing for a couple days, but the Visual Kei fans were there, and then the metalcore fans were there. All the Visual Kei ones took up the entire front row of the venue, and they didn't move at all. Also, when all the metalcore groups were playing, they were on their phones, not paying attention, just nothing. And as soon as like their band came up, they were all crazy about it and everything. But as soon as their band went off, it was back to them playing on their phones and everything. Now, behind them, all the metalcore fans were like hardcore moshing and just there were kicks flying, you were getting rammed into, just like a good old American metal mosh pit. But all the time the metalcore people were doing their thing, the Visual Kei fans were just do on their phones, and it was just really rude. I mean, at the venue, it was only standing area, and it was 6 foot by about, no, well, not 6 foot, 6 meters by about 12 meters, and there was no space in between the stage and the fans. There was just one little dinky little fence. Because you know how in American concerts they have like little like not little, but pretty big bouncer guys that are in front of the stage? Those aren't there in Japanese concerts for the most part. So, when the guitarists and the singers get up near the edge of the stage, they're practically hovering over you. You can literally stick out your hand and touch them if you were so inclined, but of course you're not, because that would be rude. But all the time, the metalcore guitarists would be strumming away over top of the Visual Kei girls' heads when they're just on their phone going do, and it's just, it brings a bit of a downer to the concert. So that's the only thing I really need to warn you about if you're into like Visual Kei and stuff like that. But side note, one thing I really need people to understand before coming to Japan is that if you are a fan of like Visual Kei and anime and manga and stuff like that, those are not 100% like everyone loves them. That is a very big misconception on the internet. You won't come to Japan and be like, oh, there's so many people who are like cosplaying and they all listen to Visual Kei. But no, they don't. I've talked to so many Japanese people and only like 2 or 3 of them even know what Visual Kei is. I think only one of them I've met has been able to name a band that is Visual Kei. So, really, if you come to Japan, try not to make a fool of yourself by pretending that you know so much about Japan when all you know is a small niche in the entertainment industry. Okay?